Good evening, students. Welcome to Sankalp Learning Classes. Today we are discussing the important question answer from the chapter Metals and Non-Metals. I hope all are ready to listen the class. Please be ready with the notebook and pen. In this chapter, first we are discussing the MCQ questions. After that, short answer questions as well as long answer questions. Okay. So let us start with the first question. The arrangement of copper, tin, lead, and mercury according to the reactivity series. Option A, tin, lead, copper, mercury. Option B, lead, copper, mercury, tin. Option C, copper, mercury, tin, lead. Option D, mercury, tin, lead, copper. Which is the correct answer according to the reactivity series you have to arrange. So option A is the correct answer, that is tin. Tin is more reactive compared to the lead, copper and mercury than lead, copper and mercury. So this is the correct answer. Please note down the answer. Next question. Aluminium is used for making cooking utensils. Which of the following properties of aluminium are responsible for the same? Why aluminium is used to cook the used as a utensil to cook the some used as a cooking utensil? Option 1, good thermal conductivity. 2, good electrical conductivity. 3, ductility. 4, high melting point. What is the reason for this? Yes, because of the good thermal conductivity. That is the correct answer. That is also a correct option. Good electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity doesn't matter because it is used as a cooking utensil. So ductility, that also not related to the question. And high melting point. Yes, high melting point, option 4, that is also a correct one. See the option A, 1 and 2, 1 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 4. Good thermal conductivity and high melting point. Option D. Option D is the correct answer here. 1 and 4. Please note down the answer. Why aluminium is used for making the cooking utensils? Next question. What happens when a pellet of sodium dropped in water? Option A, it catches fire and forms oxide. It absorbs heat and forms oxide. It catches fire and forms hydroxide. Option D, it absorbs heat and forms hydroxide. When sodium pellet, which is a more reactive, dropped in water, so it catches fire. Yes, It absorbs heat, so that is wrong one. It catches fire. It catches fire. That is the correct one. And forms oxide. It is not forming the oxide. It forms hydroxide. Option C is the correct answer. Option C, it catches fire and forms the hydroxide. Option C is the correct answer. Next question. When a non-metal is allowed to react with water, when any non-metal react with water, carbon dioxide gas is formed, hydrogen gas is formed. Product form depends on the temperature. No products are formed. Here, when a non-metal is allowed to react with water, just take any non-metal, for example, sulfur plus water. So here, no products are formed when the non-metal is allowed to react with water. Please note down the answer. Next question. Which of the following metal have melting point, low melting point? Okay. Which of the following have the low melting point? Here, option A, gallium, option B, aluminium, option C, iron, and option D, copper. Please note down the answer. Which of the following metal have low melting point? Gallium, aluminium, iron, copper. Yes, which one is the correct answer? If you know the answer, please write down in the chat box. Yes, option A, gallium is the metal which is having the low melting point. Next question. Which of the following non-metal have lustrous nature? Lustrous means a shiny surface, like option A, sodium, option B, magnesium, option C, carbon, and option D, iodine. Here, which of the following non-metal have the lustrous nature? Please note down the question. Yes, option D, iodine. Iodine is a non-metal which is having the lustrous nature, means shiny surface, outer surface. So that will looks shiny. That is the iodine. Commonly metals have this property. For example, aluminium. So these all gold and silver, you can see the shiny surface. But in case of the iodine, you can see the lustrous nature. Okay, option D is the correct answer. Next one. Which of the following pairs will give the displacement reactions? NaCl solution and copper metal, when sodium chloride react with the copper. So here displacement reaction is not possible because sodium is the more reactive than the copper. Magnesium chloride solution and aluminum metal. Magnesium is more reactive than the aluminum metal. So magnesium displacement is not possible by the aluminum because magnesium is more reactivity, which is having the more reactivity. Ferrous sulfate solution and the silver metal. Just see the option. FeSO4, FeSO4 plus Ag, FeSO4 plus Ag. Here, Ag is not able to, which is not able to form the AgSO4 plus Fe. This reaction is not possible. AgSO4 because ferrous, so this iron is having the more reactive, which is more reactive than the this silver. So this reaction is also not possible. This is based on the reactivity. These three reactions are not possible. Okay. So option D, AgNO3, AgNO3 when reacts with the copper metal, it gives us copper nitrate, Ag plus CuNO3, copper nitrate. Or CuNO3 twice. Copper nitrate will be formed, but here Ag, so this is the displacement reaction. This displacement reaction is possible here, but here, what is the reason behind this? Copper is having the more reactivity than the silver. So the displacement of the silver takes place. Okay, that is the correct answer. Option D. Please note down the answer. Option D. Next question. Which of the following methods is suitable for preventing an iron frying pan from rusting? So, which of the methods are useful to prevent it from the rusting? Applying grease, applying paint, applying a coating of zinc, all of the above. Yes, if you apply the grease, the iron metal is prevented from the rusting, and applying paint, so this method is also used to prevent the iron from the rusting, and applying a coating of zinc, that is also a correct one. So option D, all of these, all of the above, so that is the correct answer. All of the above, option D is the correct answer. Next question. An element reacts with oxygen to give the compound with high melting point. This compound is also soluble in water. The element is likely to be option A calcium, option B carbon, option C silicon, and option D iron. Yes, it is the correct answer. An element reacts with oxygen to give a compound with high melting point. And this compound is also soluble in water. The element likely to be option A, calcium. Okay, option A is the correct answer. That is calcium. Next question. Food cans are coated with tin and not with the zinc because food cans are coated with the tin and not with the zinc because zinc is costlier than tin. Zinc has a higher melting point than the tin. Zinc is more reactive than the tin. Zinc is less reactive than the tin. So what is the reason behind this? Why tin is used, not the zinc? Because zinc is costlier than the tin. No, that is not suitable. Zinc has higher melting point than the tin. So that is also not suitable. Zinc is more reactive than the tin. Zinc is more reactive than the tin. Option C is the correct answer. Zinc is less reactive than the tin. So option C is the correct answer. That is, zinc is more reactive than the tin. Next question. Observe the following chemical reactions. When iron reacts with copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate, which sulfate it is? It is iron sulfate is formed and copper is displaced. Iron is able to displace the copper from the copper sulfate. That is the what it means? Means iron is have which is more reactive than the copper. Okay. When zinc reacts with the iron sulfate, zinc sulfate and iron is displaced here. Means zinc is able to displace the iron. Means zinc is more reactive than the iron. Zinc is more which is having the more reactivity than the iron, and copper that is having the less reactivity than the iron. Iron is more reactive than the copper. The decreasing order of reactivity of the metals in the above reaction is decreasing order of the reactivity means first highest should be there, then lowest in this reaction. So highest reactivity, that is by the zinc. Zinc is having the highest reactivity than these two metals, compared to these two metals. Then iron, then copper. Zinc, iron, copper. Here zinc, iron, copper. Option C is the correct answer. Option A is the correct answer. Zinc, iron, copper. Okay, so that is the decreasing order. Means zinc is highest, then iron, so that is less than the zinc, then copper, that is less than the iron. So like this decreasing order. Okay, so option A is the correct answer. Next question. Pick the statement which is correct about the non-metal. Bromine is an example of a liquid non-metal. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Most of the non-metal oxides are acidic. All of these. Here, which is correct about the non-metal. The bromine is an example for liquid non-metal. Yes, that is correct. Graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Yes, that sentence is also correct. Most of the non-metal oxides are acidic. So that is also correct. Option D, all of these. So that is the correct answer. All of these. Option D is the correct answer here. Next question. Which of the following is a non-metal? Which of the following is a non-metal? Sodium is metal. Option A, sodium, it is metal. And chlorine, which is not a metal. Aluminium is also a metal. Aluminium is also a metal. And copper is also a metal. So the option B, chlorine, which is the non-metal. Chlorine is the non-metal. Next question. Which of the following metals is the least reactive? Sodium, zinc, copper, gold. Sodium is the most reactive, which is having the high reactivity, and zinc, that is also having the good reactivity, and copper is also having the good reactivity, but gold is the less reactive metal. Least reactivity metal, that is the gold. Option D is the correct answer, that is gold. Next question. The process used to convert sulfide ores of metals into their oxide. Option A, calcination. Option B, roasting. Option C, reduction. Option D, electrolysis. Which process used to convert the sulfide ores of metals into their oxide is? Yes, option B, roasting is the correct answer. What is calcination? What is reduction? What is electrolysis? I hope you know the meaning of these words. Yes. So, dear students, till now we have discussed the some multiple choice question. Next, we are discussing the short answer as well as long answer questions. Okay. I hope all are ready to solve the questions. Next question. Ionic compounds have high melting point and boiling point. Why? Ionic compounds, why they are having the high melting point and boiling point? What is the reason? Ionic compounds have high melting point and boiling points. This is because a considerable amount of energy is required to break the strong interionic attraction. More energy is required to break the strong interionic attraction. Okay, so for this reason, they have the high melting point and high boiling point. Next question. Give an example of metal which is liquid at room temperature. Give an example of a metal which is liquid at room temperature, that is mercury. Mercury is liquid at room temperature. Can be easily cut with a knife. The metal which can be cut easily with the knife, that is sodium. Sodium metal. Then is the best conductor of heat. Which is the best conductor of heat? Which is the best conductor of heat? That is the silver. Silver is the best conductor of heat. And is a poor conductor of heat. Which is the poor conductor of heat? The poor conductor of heat, that is the lead. Lead is the poor conductor of heat. So these all are 1 mark questions. Which metal is liquid at a room temperature? That is mercury. Which metal can be easily cut with the knife? That is the sodium. And which is the best which metal is the best conductor of heat? That is the silver. And which metal is the poor conductor of heat? That is the lead. Okay. Please note down this question. Next question. Explain the meanings of malleable and ductile. Explain the meanings of what is malleable and what is ductile. So each for 1 mark. It's totally 2 mark question. The ability of the metals drawn into thin wires called ductility. So the metals that can be drawn into a very thin wires, that is called as a ductility, and metals can be beaten into thin sheets, and this property is called malleability. The metals can be beaten into thin sheets, so they can make into thin sheets. So that is called as a malleability of the metals. Next question. Which products are formed when magnesium reacts with water? When the magnesium reacts with water, H2O, magnesium, Mg. So when the magnesium reacts with water, magnesium hydroxide is formed and hydrogen gas is released. When the magnesium reacts with water, it forms MgOH twice, magnesium hydroxide plus hydrogen. So you have to balance this reaction. Yes. So hydrogen is released. So what are the products for magnesium hydroxide? and hydrogen. And magnesium hydroxide. Okay. So these are the products. Next question. Write the equation for calcium and potassium reacts with water. Calcium and water and potassium reacts with water. Calcium and potassium reacts with water. When the calcium reacts with water, see the reaction calcium plus 2H2O, 2H2O, which gives us calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen and potassium, that is 2K. Potassium reacts with water. It forms the potassium hydroxide, that is KOH plus hydrogen plus heat energy. Okay, this is the reaction. Please note down the reaction. When the potassium reacts with the water, balanced chemical reaction, and calcium reacts with the water. Define the following. Mineral, what is mineral, ore and ganj. So this you have to define what is mineral, what is ore. These all things you have to define. Okay. The first one, mineral. An ore is a naturally occurring rock or sediment that contains a valuable mineral or compound in high enough concentration to be worth mining. So that is extracted by the mining, that is called as a ore. So which is occurring in a rock sediment, occurring rock or sediment that contains the valuable mineral. Then ores mined from the earth usually contain the large amount of impurities like sand, soil called ganj. Okay. Here the which contain the some impurities. So these impurities are removed before using. Okay. So please note down the answer. Next question, next one. A mineral is a naturally occurring inorganic solid with a specific chemical composition and crystalline structure. So that is the mineral. Next question. Name two metals which are found in nature in the free state. Name the two metals which are found in a nature in the free state, not in a compound form. Here, gold, silver, platinum, copper, these metals they found in a nature in the free state. Note down the question. Name two metals which are found in nature in the free state. Next question. What chemical process is used for obtaining a metal from its oxide? What chemical process is used for obtaining a metal from its oxide? Which process is used here? Here, the chemical process used to obtain a metal from its oxide is called as a reduction. Which process is used here? Reduction process is used here. The chemical process used to obtain a metal from its oxide is called reduction. Next question. Which metal do not corrode easily? Which metal do not corrode easily? Note down the question. I will give you time. Here, gold and platinum. These metals, they will not corrode easily. Gold and platinum. Gold and platinum. Next question. What are alloys? So these all are 1 mark questions. Dear students, please uh, concentrate on this because 1 mark questions also very important. What are alloys? What are alloys here? An alloy is a substance made by mixing two or more elements at which one of which is a metal to create a material with the specific properties. So that is the mixture of two or more elements, two or more metals. So at least one of which is a metal to create a material with the specific properties. So at least one of which is a metal. Okay, so that is the answer. Next one, 11th question. Same. What are alloys? Very important question. So this is the repeated question. Name the constituent of elements present in bronze and solder metal. Here, name the constituent of the elements. Which elements form these alloys? Bronze and the solder metal. Okay. Please note this question. Next question, next answer. An alloy is a substance made by mixing two or more elements, at least one of which is a metal, to create a material with specific properties. Here, bronze, that is made up of the copper and tin, and solder metal, that is made up of lead and tin. Okay, please note down. Next one. What are ores? Write the respective methods used to convert the sulfide and carbonate ores of metals into their oxides. Here, first question is what are ores? That is the 1 mark question. Then, write the respective methods used to convert the sulfide and carbonate ores of metals into their oxides. How the sulfide and carbonate ores of metals converted into their oxides. Here, minerals which contain high percentage of particular metal and metal can be extracted from it is called as ores. Mineral which contain high percentage of particular metal. So in mineral, the particular metal percentage is high, so that can be extracted from it is called as a ore. So here, carbonate ores, sulfide and carbonate ores of metal in their into their oxides. Here, calcination and the roasting. Calcination and the roasting methods are used. Which are the different methods used? Calcination and the roasting. Calcination and roasting. Note down the question. Next question. Draw the diagram of arrangement of apparatus to show the action of steam on a metal. One of the important diagram. Draw the diagram of arrangement of apparatus to show the action of steam on a metal. Note down the question. After that, we have to see the answer for this question. So this diagram, one of the important diagram from the chapter, metals and non-metals. Please practice this diagram daily. That will be helpful for your board exam to get the good marks. Okay. Here, yes, this is the diagram. Very important diagram. Action of steam on a metal. So please note down these all. You have to label these all things. These all labelings, that is also very important. Labeling is very important while drawing. So sometimes they will ask to label particular things, but sometimes they will not. Please practice all the labelings. Next question. Depict the formation of magnesium chloride with the help of electron dot structure. How magnesium chloride, MgCl2, is formed? Magnesium chloride with the help of electron dot structure. Yes, this is the formation of magnesium chloride by using the dot structure. So it is also given in the NCERT textbook, right? So one of the important question, repeatedly this question asked in the different question paper. Next question. Hydrogen gas is not liberated when a metal like zinc reacts with nitric acid. Why? Hydrogen gas is not liberated. Why hydrogen gas is not liberated when a metal like zinc reacts with a nitric acid, HNO3? When So you know that when the metal reacts with the acids, they form the hydrogen gas. But here, when it reacts with the HNO3, nitric acid, the hydrogen gas will be not released. What is the reason? Because HNO3 is a strong oxidizing agent. It oxidizes the hydrogen and produce the water and itself get reduced to any of the nitrogen oxides. So for this reason, hydrogen is not produced. So this is the question. Next question. Explain the formation of ionic bond between the sodium atom and the chlorine atom. Here, uh, then list any four general properties of ionic compounds. This is very important. List any four general properties of ionic compounds. Repeatedly, this question is asked in the different question paper. Here, what are the physical nature of the ionic compounds? Ionic compounds are solids and are somewhat hard because strong force of attraction between the positive and the negative ions. They are commonly hard because of the attraction between the positive and the negative ions. And compounds generally are brittle and break into pieces when the pressure is applied. What about the melting and boiling points? Ionic compounds having the high melting points and boiling points. What is the reason? This is because considerable amount of energy is required to break the strong interionic reaction. So this question will be asked for one more question also. Why these ionic compounds have the high melting points and boiling points? Then solubility. Electrovalent compounds are generally soluble in water and insoluble in solvents such as kerosene and petrol. And then what about the conduction of the electricity? So these are the five important characteristics of the ionic compounds. The conduction of electricity through the solution involves the movement of the charged particles. A solution of an ionic compound in water contains the ions which move to opposite electrodes when the electricity is passed through the solution. Ionic compounds in solid state do not conduct the electricity because there is no movement of ions. But in the molten state, this is possible. In the molten state, electricity is carried by these ionic compounds. Okay, so these are the some physical nature of the general properties of the ionic compounds. Very important. Repeatedly this question was asked in the different question paper. What are the physical nature of the ionic compounds? Okay, please note down the answer. Yes, this is the question. Least first question, take it as a homework and write the answer. Yes, my dear students, I will end the class here. We'll continue in the next class. Okay, thank you.